everybody, this is Eli, and today we're going to be making the useless box. This is part 2 of 2. We're going to be finishing the useless box. Let's get started. So I started with this piece of 1/2-inch oak plywood, and I just cut it 4.5 inches wide, and then measured 2 pieces 4.5 inches long, and then 2 other pieces that were 7.5 inches long. And once that was done, I just went to the chop saw and just cut those 4 pieces. And the 2 shorter pieces were going to be the ends of the box, and then the 2 longer pieces were going to be the sides. Now you can see I have them all cut. Then once they were cut to length, I just took the table saw and I put the blade about 1/8 of an inch high, and then I just ran the boards about 1/4 of an inch in and just made a groove in them. I did that to all the boards, then I scooted the fence over to make the groove wider. So basically I'm just making a dado right now. Instead of putting the dado stack on the table saw, I just used the blade and just kept on moving the fence over and over until I had the right thickness of gap I wanted. Now you can see, that's the groove. Then once I did that, I took this other piece of scrap oak that was just laying around. It was about 1/4 of an inch thick, and it just fit perfectly into that groove that I just cut. So you can see those are the 2 sides. So then I just measured how long the sides were and just put a mark there, then measured the ends and then just put a mark there, and then just went and cut it on the chop saw. And now that is the right length, I went on the table saw and just cut it to right width. Now you can see that's the piece. So now I'm just fitting the whole thing together, and it seems that all of it fit together pretty nicely. Now you can see the box is all together. Then the next thing to do was just to make the finger that would go on the motor that would turn the switch off and on. So I just put a little dot where the motor would be, and then just made this kind of curve shape. I just kind of eyed it and just guessed how I wanted it to be shaped. So once I did that, I went to the bandsaw and just cut it out. And since the blade on the bandsaw was so thick, it was hard to get exactly on the line. So I went to the belt sander and just sanded the outside of the finger. And then to sand the inside of the finger, I just went to the drill press and put a drum sander on it and just sanded the inside. Now you can see that's the finger. And then once that was all sanded and nice, I just took a punch and I just made a little tiny dot where the motor hole would be. Then I took a 3/8 inch drill bit and just drilled right where I put that little hole. Now you can see it fits on the motor. And since it was just a kind of a loose fit, I took some CA glue and just glued it on. So now you can see when I turn it on, it just goes round and round. And then once all that was done, I just took the box, deassembled it, and then put glue and put it all back together so that it would hold together. I put CA glue and wood glue, and later I put nails just to hold it together while I work on it. And now you can see right now I'm marking where I want to put the nails. And I put 3 nails on each edge. And now you can see each edge has 3 nails. A total of 12. Then once the whole box was all together, I just went to the belt sander and just sanded it so it was nice and flush with everything. Now you can see it's nice and sanded and smooth. Then I just had to measure the top of the box to make a lid. It was 7.5 inches long and 4.5 inches wide. So now you can see I have that piece cut out. And now I'm just measuring where I need the motor and the finger to sit. So I'm just kind of eyeing it, and then I measured it, and it ended up being at 2 inches long. So I took the scrap block of oak and just marked 2 inches onto it, and then cut that. Now you can see that I have that little block. Then I just put some CA glue on it, glued the motor to it, and then glued the block onto the bottom of the box. I just put some CA glue and just stuck it on. And then while that was drying, I just took the lid and I marked where I needed to cut it in half. So I just marked where the arm came at its top dead center and then cut that on the chop saw. And then I just took the other piece that would go where the switch was, and I'm just measuring where the switch has to be for the finger to hit it. So once I marked that, I just took a Forstner bit that was the same size as the switch and then just drilled a hole and put the switch in. And since the wood was a little bit too thick for the switch, I just took another Forstner bit and just made it shallower where the switch would be. And now you can see the switch is on there. And right now I'm just doing the final touches of where the lid needs to be nailed onto. And if you remember in the part 1, this is the momentary switch that I made. So it needed to be right under the finger, so when it came back to its home, it would push the switch. So as you can see, when the arm is spinning and I press the button, the arm stops. So then I just put some hot glue onto it and put it right under the arm, so when the arm came back, it would just press the popsicle stick. As you can see, it's stopping the arm. And now I'm just drilling 2 holes for little finish nails to hold the lid on. And now you can see it comes up and turns the switch off. And then I just drilled 2 more holes to put the last 2 finishing nails on the one lid with the switch. And now you can see it works perfectly. Then on the other lid that would hinge up so that the arm would come out and hit the switch, I had to take a Forstner bit and drill some more holes so it'd be a shallower and a flush fit, and I took this hinge and just hot glued it on. And since it was flush, it wouldn't make the lid sit up a little bit. So then I just took some little screws and just screwed it into the back of the box. Now you can see the hinge works great. So when you turn it on, the arm just lifts up the lid and turns off the switch. And then for the finaling touches, I just took it on the belt sander again and just sanded the box. And as you can see, I'm charging it right now. And then I just wanted it to look a little bit better, so I wrote push on it with just a pencil first, and I was gonna wood burn it in. So I wrote push and an arrow. Now you can see that, and then I just took the wood burner and burned that in. Now I'm doing the arrow. Now I'm just heating up the pipe for my brand. And just to finish off the whole box, I just used some semi-gloss lacquer. And also, so it'd look a little bit better, I'd put on right above the switch, so it would make it look like you want to turn the switch on, but the robot would turn it off, as you can see. And now I'm just finishing it off with a semi-gloss lacquer. So as I said earlier in the video, it has a charger, so I just have this USB cord plugged into this power bank, and then it changes into a micro USB, and it plugs into this little board. And when it's charging and the battery's dead, the light is orange. And then when it's charged, the light turns blue. Just like that. And when the light turns blue, you know it's fully charged. And when you do it again, the light will turn orange for about 10 seconds, then it will turn blue and it'll be fully charged again. And that's the micro USB. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. This was a really fun project, and I learned a lot of new stuff on it about electronics and all kinds of different things. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.